As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology Meerut, deemed to be university, and its centers of excellence, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications, in association with African Asian Rural Development Organization, ARDO, New Delhi, organizes this weekly international webinar series on open source digital technology towards self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Today is 68th edition of the webinar series, 26th March 2022, and on behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, His Excellency the Secretary General ARDO, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf, and as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of the Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agri-Business and Disaster Management Studies, and Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, and Center for Industry 4.0 Studies and Applications, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing. Let me welcome our guest speaker of today's webinar, Mr. Dushyant Tyagi, Chief Executive Officer, Farmgate Technology Private Limited, Hyderabad, State of Telangana. Today is going to talk on the topic market-driven agriculture, need for development of crop-specific strategies at block level. I wish to inform the participants and the guest speaker that under this international webinar series, these two centers of excellence, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications, have organized 67 lectures so far, namely, open technologies to provision simple and economical IT infrastructure, a roadmap for students using free and open source software and reaching goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat, open source software and industrial IoTs for SMEs, free and open source software adoption and business models, open data platform for smart digital governance, technology imperatives, make in India for self-reliance, edge AI, data governance for self-reliant India, Digital India transforming governance and society, India's email service citizen@indiamail.com in 22 constitutionally recognized languages, ecosystem architecture for digital transformation, education system cyber critical infrastructure, seizing opportunities in open innovation and value creation network in the digital world for self-reliant economy, ensuring food safety and compliance through technology, Digital India, urgent need and compliance through technology, Digital India, urgent need for semiconductor manufacturing in India, technology investment in agriculture value chain, role of foreign direct investments, entrepreneurship and skill development, AI design pathways, rise of platform economy, revisiting value chain governance, era of automation, industrial robotics and industry 4.0, Indo-German perspective of technology transfer, skill gap analysis and opportunities, role of artificial intelligence in healthcare, current developments in diagnosis and vaccine research, digital agri-tech and agri-startup perspective, health informatics network value chain, e-health system and beyond, leveraging emerging technologies for ensuring transparent and traceable agri and food supply chain, unleash the power of citizen development for enterprise software development, e-governance models towards a sustained quality services to citizen backed by technology, Indian MSMEs to adopt Industry 4.0 technology capabilities, urgent need for mentorship and accelerator program, building public digital platform using microservices and APIs, health informatics network value chain, early childhood development and learning, health informatics network value chain, clinical AI, interface between machine learning and health informatics, health informatics network value chain, importance of social medicine and community health in the times of health emergency, gravity filter, a simple low cost solution to the drinking water treatment in rural India, open source GovTech startup empowering growth with automation, digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities, national digital twine program, need for a robust sorry, need for a robust geospatial infrastructure, industry 4.0 in MSMEs, Industry 4.0 in MSMEs, benefits of indigenously developed CollabCAD software from National Informatics Center, mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions to fight illicit trade, cybersecurity risk challenges and solutions, intelligence approach to reduce the cyber risk, new internet IPv6 root server toward Atmanirbhar Connected Bharat, Indian startups, reflections and possible policy interventions needed for scaling up to Gram Panchayat, blockchain and crypto for a digital assets platform, pathways for global trade, robot as a service, leverage technology to solve enterprise challenges, space startups connecting to international market with emerging business models, enabling technologies for future vision, Vivekananda secondary education and skills development mega project, its potential impact on rural entrepreneurship and the rural economy in India. The Sports Grail, a digital sports media platform, and prospects of Indian sports industry sustainability model at a global level. Pharma 4.0, Industry 4.0 applications to pharmaceutical manufacturing, path to a digital transformation, accelerate and scale non-linear growth through partner ecosystem, technological renaissance and the human capital, a perspective, health informatics network value chain, medical outreach challenges and versus potential, beyond COVID-19, revitalizing micro and small enterprises, project management essential, launchpad for future CEO and startup founders beyond Society 5.0, a new society beyond Industry 4.0 post COVID-19, smart village oblique community, the African ICT oblique IoT lesson, digital economy, ways and means to protect and empower for self-reliance, pragmatic ways for Atmanirbhar Bharat, democratization of essential services by using sustainable energy as a catalyst, transforming India through relevant education and vocational training, digital technology in simplifying citizen life, online learning during the pandemic and its future, smart microeconomic zone pathways for self-reliance at village level, crime prediction support systems, knowledge management for development partnership to achieve the sustainable development goals of the UN and implementing the Agenda 2030. Millet value chain from IoT to blockchain, a traceability roadmap, aspirational district program in left-wing extremism affected district, a successful model of data-driven governance, digital agriculture supply chain and a trading hub, a geo-economic perspective. Today is the 68th edition of this very important webinar series. We'll have the talk by our guest speaker, Mr. Dushyant Tyagi, Chief Executive Officer, Farmgate Technology Private Limited, Hyderabad, State of Telangana, and co-chairman of ASSOCHAM's National Council on Agri Inputs and Farming Practices on the very important topic, market-driven agriculture. Need for development of crop-specific strategies at block level. Dear participants, you see the key words, market-driven agriculture, developmental need, crop-specific strategies, and block level. It is very important. Atmanirbhar Bharat is a road ahead. It is the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, of making India a self-reliant nation rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation. And based on 5 pillars: quantum jump, not incremental economy; infrastructure, one that represents modern India; system, 21st century technology driven; vibrant demography, demand whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity; Atmanirbhar Abhiyan in agriculture. Third tranche of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan gave 1.5 lakh crore as a booster to the agriculture sector, which included the following schemes: rupees 1 lakh crore to agriculture cooperative societies, farmer producer organization, and startups for boosting farm gate infrastructure. Let me repeat: 1 lakh crore to agriculture cooperative societies, farmer producer organization, and startups for boosting farm gate infrastructure, and 10,000 crores for formalization of micro food enterprises and for following cluster based farming approach. Vocal for local to make it global, a demand based economic system which is self producing and self consuming, subsuming make in India, make for India, make for global. I also would like to quote, with respect to today's topic, the recommendations of the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022, report 2018. I would like to quote 4 volumes of this report. Before that, Government of India, through its National Informatics Center, has prepared IT blueprint for agriculture through the National Conference for Informatics for Sustainable Agriculture Development in 1995. I was instrumental. And a smart village scheme 2002-2007 and 2007-2002. I was instrumental once again in visualizing and getting the scheme approved by the then Planning Commission, but I was not able to operationalize one smart village program in every state. And Government of India has launched National E-Governance Program in Agriculture in 2005. Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 11 and Volume 12B of the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 report of 2018 of Government of India have suggested reforms measure for income rise through digitalization of farming sector. Volume 3 talks about post-production agri-logistics, maximizing gains for farmer. Volume 4 talks about post-production intervention, agriculture marketing. Volume 11 talks about empowering the farmer through agriculture extension and knowledge dissemination. And Volume 12B talks about digital technology in agriculture. Volume 11 and Volume 12B, I was associated as the group leader for these while formulating the draft plans recommendation. Agriculture logistic is the backbone of agribusiness, and agriculture marketing is the brain behind value realization. Volume 12B of the report gives the talked about strategic use of digital technology in farming system life cycle through 7 mission mode programs, which is explained in chapter 10 of this volume 12B. Digitalized agriculture, digital technology and innovation in agriculture, Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India program for transformational reforms in agriculture sector through smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart tribal farming. Digitalized agromet advisories and agricultural risk management solutions. Digitalized agricultural resources information system and micro level planning for achieving smart village and smart farming. Digitalized value chain for about 400 agricultural commodities. Digitalized access to inputs, technology, knowledge, skill, agricultural finance, credit, marketing, and agribusiness management to farmers. Digitalized integrated land and water management system, and digitalized farm health management for reduction of farmers' health. It is farmer health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and fish health and environmental health. We know that 85% of the diseases which we get come from animal, but at the grassroots level, these are all vertical silos. And The Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022, in its volume 11, it talks about the need for establishment of networking of cooperative societies, (CoopNet), and digitalization of each cooperative society with the title E-Cooperatives. This is a suggestion which I wrote it in my paper in 2004, which was published by the National Cooperative Union of India in its volume of centenary celebration. And central government's this committee has recommended boosting digital initiatives in agriculture very effectively. Digital India program aims to transform India into a knowledge-based economy and a digitalized, empowered society. It published a report, India's $1 trillion digital economy. It identified 30 digital themes. If scaled up nationally, can accelerate India's progress in 9 key areas. So, the Indian economy is digitalized, and the rise of platform economy is going on in a rapid manner. Digital ecosystems are essential for digital transformation in the digital world. The recent trend in digital economy is the adoption of blockchain technology, data analytics, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, Internet of Things, automation, robotics, and cloud computing. Digital technology spreads through the entire economy, be it industry, be it tourism, be it sector impacted of which pure players, and it's digital media and content, and education and training, city and mobility, agriculture, commerce, banking and insurance, and health sector, etc., etc. Frontier technologies in digital economy ecosystem in the planet are cloud computing, mobile phones, IoT platforms, social media, GPS, advanced human-computer interactions, authentications and intrusion detection, 3D printing, smart sensors, augmented reality, analysis of big data and advanced algorithm, and user data collection. And 10 top emerging technologies are AI, 5G, serverless computing, biometrics, augmented reality, natural language processing, and biometrics, and quantum computing, blockchain. Ecosystem situational analysis on the ground is Digital India 2015, Make in India 2015, Startup India 2015, Skill India 2015, Atmanirbhar Bharat 2020, and Mission 2022, and doubling farmers' income by 2022. And this should result in agriculture 4.0, industry 4.0, now leading to industry 5.0 and society 5.0. And Government of India, through its budget speech on 1st February 2022, announced Amrit Kal led up to at 100. There's a strategic plan for the next 25 years, what India should achieve. From India at 75 now to India at 100. And they also said it that the government aims to attain the vision. They are complementing the macro level economic level growth, complementing the macroeconomic level growth focus with a microeconomic level all-inclusive welfare focus. So it means that macro level growth and microeconomic level all-inclusive welfare focus. Promoting digital economy, fintech, technology-enabled development, energy transition, and climate action. Very important, goal, vision. Relying on virtuous cycle, starting from private investment with public capital investment, helping to crowd in private investment. It adopts 4 principal priorities. Prime Minister's Gati Shakti, speed, inclusive development, productivity enhancement and investment, sunrise opportunities, energy transition, and climate action, and financing of investments. Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations and Agenda 2030 gives the future we want, aims at the future we want. Sustainable Development Goals are also known as global goals, adopted by United Nations in 2015 as universal call to action to end poverty, to protect the planet, and to ensure that by 2020 all the people enjoy peace and prosperity. 17 developmental goals with 169 targets. And then in 1992, at the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, more than 178 countries adopted Agenda 21, a comprehensive plan of action to build a global partnership for sustainable development to improve human lives and protect the environment. Inspired by this recommendation, Agenda 21, Chapter 10, Chapter 14, that talked about information system for sustainable agricultural and rural development, which inspired me. In May 1995, I was instrumental to organize a national conference on informatics for sustainable agriculture development, ISDA 95, which provided the IT blueprint for agriculture sector, AgmarkNet, AgriSnet, FishNet, Fertilizer Informatics Network, and so on and so forth. Let us come to today's topic, market-driven agriculture, need for development of crop-specific strategic at block level. Agriculture and related sectors such as forestry and the fisheries sector account for 19.9% of the country's GDP. I would like to quote the former chairman of Hindustan Unilever Limited. In 2012, he said it. Rural India is the powerhouse for development. It can generate $1.83 trillion to the existing Indian GDP. He said it in 2012. If agriculture sector and associated sector is now accounting for 19.9% of the country's GDP, now with all the inflation factors taken into account, now the rural India can add very clearly more than $2 trillion. It can add to the Indian GDP. And it is very easy to achieve $5 trillion economy, provided rural India, has its relevant technology. The whole Indian economy, all educational institution of higher education institution, irrespective of what topic they teach, IITs, NITs, central universities, and 40,000 higher educational institution colleges, 1,500 deemed universities and universities. If they make agriculture economy as the use case for their teaching, and Indian economy can be more than 5 trillion. The people need not go for a job to other countries. India can be a land of greatest opportunities. It can provide a great green wall, or green great wall for the entire world. And this is important. But when we talk about market-driven agriculture, we will talk about agriculture value chain. India produces about 400 agriculture commodities. India has got sunshine for throughout the year, 365 days. And we produce agriculture commodities throughout the year. And if we have an appropriate agriculture value chain developed, which has got its own challenges and opportunities, because 14.5 crore operational holders, which has about something like 85% among them are small and marginal farmers. They form the food security to the nation. If they adopt a technology, and it's all challenges can be converted into opportunities. And I would like to quote what Mr. Tipankar Mukherjee on 10th March, he talked about in the webinar series. He talked about agriculture value chain challenges and opportunities. He said that Information service, there are challenges and a lot of opportunities. Production services, challenges and opportunities. And market linkages, challenges and opportunities. Trade plays a crucial role in providing livelihoods for farmers and people employed along the food supply chain. It also contributes reducing food insecurity across the globe and provides greater choice in consumer goods. COVID-19 pandemic led to trade disruption worldwide, but the agriculture and food sector proved to be more resilient than other sectors of the economy. India consistently maintained a trade surplus in the agriculture products over the year. India's agriculture and allied exports during 2019 and 2020 were 2.52 lakh crore. Imports were 1.47 lakh crore. Even during the difficult time of pandemic, India took care not to disturb the world food supply chain and continued to export. Agricultural commodities are perishable. Establishing brands can help farmers gain competitive advantage in buyer-driven global markets. Except for basmati rice and a few horticulture products like Maha grapes, India has not been able to take advantage of its unique positioning for many agricultural commodities. This I am quoting from an article titled Boosting Farm Exports by Abhishek Jha, Anjani Kumar, and Aravinda K. Padi in Business Line on 27th January 2022. National Agriculture Market, ENAM, is a pan-India electronic trading portal which networks the existing APMC mandis to create a unified national market for agricultural commodities. AgmarkNet project during 2000-2008 had networked more than 3,500 agriculture produce wholesale markets in India for reporting spot market prices for about 400 agricultural commodities. Various agri-tech companies have emerged to help the farmers capture the best value for their produce. Several firms are working on remodeling the whole supply chain through efficient distribution systems and are trying to reduce the number of intermediaries involved in the value chain to increase the farmer's profit. Other firms are using technologies like satellite and drones to geotag farms, crop health, and estimate output. Some companies have also set up online trading platform to directly connect farmers and consumers instead of going via state-run mandi systems. Digital platforms for farmer like a Patna-based Dehat can put competitive pressure on the middleman and help farmers access the market directly. I wish to refer to the talk Agriculture Exports Management, Imperatives of Integrating with the Global Value Chain at the Earliest by Dr. Parashuram Jakappa Patil. He talked about it is imperative for integrating our agriculture export management with global value chain at the earliest. He is an agriculture economist, fellow of Nehru Memorial Museum and Library, Ministry of Culture, and Startup India mentor, Ministry of Commerce and Industries. He talked on 3rd March 2022. We also covered various topics on agriculture value chain, spices informatics network value chain, smart tribal agriculture optimizing value chain, understanding market dynamics for increasing farm income, role of technologies in mitigating crop risk, dairy informatics network value chain, mobile enabled software as a service to solve complex supply chain challenges, a case study from daily orders, spices informatics network value chain, and organic spices cultivation for doubling of farmers' income in northeast region of India, a value chain analysis, mushroom cultivation, a way towards self-reliance for agriculture waste and providing nutritional food security to the nation. And we also had a topic on technology investment in agriculture value chain, role of foreign direct investment, and rise of platform economy, revisiting value chain governance, leveraging emerging technology for ensuring transparent and traceable agri and food supply chain, and digital agriculture supply chain and trading hub, a geo-economic perspective, millet value chain from IoT to blockchain, a traceability roadmap. Need for development of cross-specific strategies at block level, because the time has come that we have to look at market-driven agriculture extension. What the market wants, you produce the crop. India has got about something like 127 agroclimatic zone, 15 agroclimatic region, which have been subdivided into 127 agroclimatic zones, and more than 87 agroecological zones, 365 days sunshine, more than 450 agriculture commodities. And we have to develop crop-specific strategies at the block level to more than doubling the farmer's income, either through national trade or international trade. And this is where today's topic is market-driven agriculture. Means the recommendation is that we need to have a development of crop-specific strategies at block level. At least the 450 agriculture commodities, which needs a value chain to be integrated with the global value chain, need a crop-specific strategy at the block level. The present mechanism of planning and implementation of agriculture and allied development programs are centralized in nature. This top-down approach focuses on individual commodities, enterprises, rather than on a holistic and integrated approach. It is ad hoc in nature, does not involve all actors. This I am quoting from a report from the National Institute for Agriculture Extension Management, Hyderabad. It's a document which is produced during the National Agriculture Technology Project, World Bank aided, 2005. Farmers are considered as the receivers of benefits rather than responsible partners who can influence the production process. Now we are in 2022, and to address the aforementioned issues of each district, it is required to develop strategic research and extension plan by involving all stakeholders. We understand Indian Council of Agricultural Research has prepared strategic research and extension plan for every district. Do the state level, district level agricultural offices, animal husbandry offices, fisheries offices know about or practice this strategic research and extension plan report for operationalization at the grassroots level? How much effort has been taken to reach such type of recommendation, suggestion as available in such reports to the 14.5 crore operational holders? This is a question to be asked and should be answered. And it also that talks about content of strategic plan. Extension and research intervention would differ across the agroecological zone as per prevailing agroecological situations between crops, livestock, and farming systems as affected by roads, markets, input supply chain, input supply outlets, service facilities, and between farm household as a reflection of their resource endowment and socio-economic status. So we have to have a holistic approach for farming as a system. And also, formulating the strategic plan, it talks about identify and build on important farming system innovation or success stories, increase farmers access to markets, technologies, and resource through farmers group and organization, on-farm collaborative technology development, testing, refinement to address serious technological gaps in the existing farming systems, promote appropriate natural resource management plan for building and maintaining sustainable production system with each agroecological systems. It is very important. And agroecological situations. If you look at the 7 mission mode program suggestion of the volume 12B of the doubling farmers income, it reflects this recommendation suggestion very effectively. And why there is a delay in operationalizing the 7 mission mode programs as suggested in the chapter 10 of volume 12B of the doubling farmers' income by 2022. The report was submitted to the Ministry of Agriculture in September 2018. And ICR has also launched in 2010-11 National Initiative on Climate Resilient Agriculture, is to enhance the resilience of Indian agriculture, covering crops, livestock, and fisheries in climate resilient villages. So, smart village, digitalized agricultural resources information system, micro level planning, facilitating smart village and smart farming through climate resilient villages. It's a big agenda which we are yet to reach beyond the district. And Acharya Vinoba Bhave said India is a Kram Pradhan Desh. It has consist of 6.25 lakhs villages and Krishi Pradhan Desh, agrarian economy. And operationalization of the recommendation of volume 12B of the Doubling Farmers Income Committee report is the need of the hour. Why are we silent about, once we talked about comprehensive district agriculture plan for every district? And Ministry of Panchayat Raj, in its report on 2021 booklet, it is preparing Gram Panchayat level development plan, Block Panchayat development plan, and District Panchayat development plan. And one has to see that how agriculture and rural development plans and Panchayat development plans, synergize at the farm level and farmer level at the village level. That is more important. But 15th Finance Commission is even allocated 2,36,805 crores for rural local bodies during 2021 to 26, of which 40% of the recommended grant will be untied grants. The remaining 60% as tied grant. So that when such budget allocation is available from central government schemes, state government schemes, Finance Commission recommendation, and we would like to know that how these schemes are getting synergized at the farmer level and farm level at village level to achieve sustainable agricultural rural development. This is where today's topic is very important. Market-driven agriculture, need for a development of a crop-specific strategies at block level. Not, it is from the bottom-up process, not from top-down. And with this background, let us now turn to the address by our guest speaker, Mr. Dushyant Tyagi, Chief Executive Officer, Farmgate Technology Limited, Hyderabad, State of Telangana, on the very important topic, market-driven agriculture, need for development of crop-specific strategies at block level. And it will increase that it will involve, or people can refer to the volumes 3, 4, 11, and 12B of the Doubling Farmers Income Committee report. This topic will galvanize and motivate the participants watching our telecast through Facebook.com/Shobhit University India, or YouTube.com/Shobhit University in, or LinkedIn.com/company/Shobhit University, for motivating them to get inspired to work through startups at Gram Panchayat level on the concept of market side of agriculture value chain. Market side of agriculture value chain. Our guest speaker intends to cover the market side of value chain, ENAM, Farmgate in his address. Also, his two startups in the field of agri-tech and logistics. I took it from your correspondence with me earlier. Indian farming community comprises of about 14.5 crores operational holdings, of which 85% farmers have small and marginal operational holdings. We have to achieve smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, smart tribal farming, and smart hill farming. This can facilitate at least the establishment of 2.25 lakh agri-tech deep startup, one in every Gram Panchayat in the country, to help to facilitate establishing 400 to 450 agriculture commodity value chain, helping 14.5 crore operational holders. Market-led extension, crop-specific strategies at block level is required. Market dynamics is very important. Let me introduce our guest speaker to the participants of the webinar. Mr. Manish. Mr. Dushyant Tyagi, Chief Executive Officer, Farmgate Technology Private Limited. He is a postgraduate in agriculture from prestigious GP Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar. He has got 3 decades of experience in agribusiness, spanning from agri input, post-harvest, and marketing, fresh food retail, food processing, and agri-tech to startup mentoring. Dushyant is credited with spearheading the transformative PMO project, Prime Minister's Office project, ENAM, Electronic National Agriculture Market, as a strategic and implementation partner for the last more than 5 years. Today, ENAM is the world's largest electronic spot agri trading platform with $25 billion plus turnover, over 45 million metric ton plus trade volume. Over 45 million metric ton plus trade volume with 1 million plus farmer user base in 1,000 digitized and integrated agri-produce markets across 18 states and 3 UTs in the country. ENAM facilitates real-time electronic trading of more than 175 agri-commodities across the country. Having started his career with the input side of value chain, Dushyant worked with a known plant nutrition major. He has worked with the known plant nutrition major, Champal Fertilizer and Chemicals Limited, mostly in northwestern India for more than a decade. Invested second decade of his professional career in understanding the output and processing side of the value chain. While working with leading food retail companies like Reliance Retail, Aditya Birla Retail, and Mother Dairy Fruits and Vegetable Private Limited. For the last more than 10 years, Mr. Dushyant has remained associated with Nagarjuna Fertilizer and Chemicals Limited in various roles, ranging from National Sale and Marketing Head, Strategic Business Unit Head, and Business Head Technology Division. Presently, he is engaged in setting up new companies and mentoring 2 startups in the field of agri-tech and logistics. Dushyant has been nominated as a co-chairman of ASSOCHAM, Associated Chambers of Commerce and Industry in India. Its National Council on Agri Inputs and Farming Practices. He is known thought leader in the sector. He has always been firm believer in collective wisdom and collaborations. In his view, agri-tech is going to play the decisive role in bridging the information asymmetry, bridging the much-desired transparency and seamless enablement of value drivers of the Indian agriculture. With this, I welcome Mr. Dushyant Tyagi to the international webinar series on open source digital technology for self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, on the very important topic, market-driven agriculture, need for development of crop-specific strategies at block level. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and very happy to be here. On the onset, I would like to extend my thanks to Professor Moni, faculty, students of Shobhit University, and both the development centers CIDSA and CITSA, and more than the friends joining from AARDO. So I really am very happy to share whatever we could achieve in last. In fact, it's a 10-year effort to bring change on the market side of our agri value chain. And like we had a very, very enlightening roundup of Indian thought, Indian strategy on agriculture, on rural development, and our thought as a country about agriculture, and Professor Moni has covered exhaustively, whatever was seeded by him during his tenure with the government is now, reaping all the fruits. So belief in technology, we all know, technology is the only thing which have changed our lives for long, for centuries together. So just to set up the ground, I would like to highlight, a few things. India as a country got for economic reforms, in 1991, and that was the need of our, because from a controlled economy to open market economy, that was important for us, because at that point of time as a country we were having certain financial challenges, certain economic challenges. So those reforms, which as a country we started in 1991 till 2010-11, we succeeded in, in reforming all of our major sectors, be it, service sector, manufacturing, infrastructure, telecom, all major sectors. Since, Indian agriculture relates to food, and most of the time, by if you look at the figures, by 1991 India was almost, and more than self-reliant for its basic food requirement, except for few commodities like oil seed and others. So it's quite natural, you will go to the places where you need, you are distressed, or you need, more focus. So at that time employment generation was our priority, and service sector led the growth engine of Indian growth, in next 2 decades. And we became a formidable, power in IT, and that brought in into hospitality, and followed by infrastructure, telecom, and all the sectors. So agriculture, and if you look at it, deeply, most of the changes were brought in by technology only, and primarily IT and others, automobile, others. But agriculture, we were just doing fine. So next 2 decades, we continue to do what we were doing. So I'm very happy, in 2010-11 onwards, we started thinking of agriculture reforms also, and which basically grounded in the year 19 in the year 2014. So and the idea, I mean, again, that what you say now, I mean, necessity is the mother of invention. So in last 2 3 decades, Indian agriculture has passed through some phenomena very silently. We continue to grow, in terms of our population. Holdings continue to grow, divide further, and our agriculture was reaching to a stage where most of our marginal farmers, almost more than 85% of our holdings, were getting non-economic. So, and I mean, you have in our country today, we have more than 85% of the farmers out of 14.5 crore mentioned by Professor Moni having less than 2 acre land. So how to make them sustainable in that piece of land become challenge, and agriculture started feeling kind of a stress, kind of a distress, by the year 2012-13 more, because farmers were not getting right kind of a price whatever they were growing. One hand we were having the spikes of overproduction. Other year we are having the spikes of low production. So a lot of disturbance was there, in the sector. So then I firmly believe, and we all have witnessed, how technology has changed our lives in last 30 years in this country and worldwide. Information in previous times, 3 decades back, you have to basically take the information to the recipient, physically. You have to visit, you have to call people, you have to organize meetings, you have to information dissemination was with a time lag. With the help of technology today, it is real time. We are talking in real time. We can see each other in real time. So then government thought that this is high time when agriculture in India, with the first distress we faced in from 19 just after our independence, we were a hugely dependent country for our food. We were having a huge dependence on countries like US and others, even for our basic food, which is wheat or rice or whatever. From there, from a completely dependent country to a surplus country, today India have the food grain sufficient for almost 3 years. So this journey was really fantastic, and our farmers have performed very well, our government policies have performed very well, our institutions did some good work for first 3 decades. After that there was a saturation or a stable phase. Now what will be the next? what will be the next disruption to reform this sector. So government focus completely, their comprehensive committee was made, doubling the farming committee, and that committee was nothing to basically chalk down its strategy, agriculture strategy plan for next 25 years for the country. And they are looking to double the income from 2014 to 2022. So now I will start my presentation. All of us know that in agri value chain, India as a country don't have much of problem, of quantum of food or quantum of agriculture production. We are growing very well, and Indian farmers can grow any quantum. Recent example is, we were basically the net importers of pulse couple of years back, and then the honorable prime minister gave a call that you grow, please, bring your attention towards pulse. And within 1 year and within 3 seasons, we were having kind of a surplus situation in pulse production, but we failed to basically manage the market. That is how the trend is reversed again. So Indian agri value chain, we basically, I mean, what I'm trying to tell here, we don't have much of challenges at this point of time. I know the production or the quality of produce. Our farmers can produce global class, product anytime. But where we are struggling most is to find out, where to sell it. Farmers' realizations are not stable and are not sustainable. So the primary reason in a typical agri value chain, Indian agri value chain, have two, three, major challenges. One is dropping holding size, and the second is basically, if you look at it objectively, I mean, after production, when the farmers bring the produce to market, basically they lose the maximum value. So the situation is like this, farmers are investing more, and farmers are getting less realization, and consumers are ending up paying more for commodity. For example, potato. The average farm gate price for last year was around 8 rupees per kg. Sorry, but average price consumer paid across country was 21 rupees. So that does not encourage consumers to consume more. And India, predominantly, even today, we are a carbohydrate country. We don't have enough of proteins and fats, kind of a balanced diet. Our majority of populace is taking imbalanced nutrition. Unfortunately, this is grim. After one of the major producer of agriculture produce, livestock produce, milk and everything globally, but there is an anomaly in distribution and availability. So we have to make enriched food available for our masses. We are not here to serve 2 or 3% of the population. We are here to think about 98% of our people. How a 1 acre farmer can be sustainable, equivalent to a decent, job holder in a village. Like Professor Moni, pointed out, we have to make each village sustainable, each village economy. One district, one product, maybe, it's a fantastic strategy from an industrial point of view. But from agriculture point of view, like Panchayat Raj has performed very well in this country. I am coming from a village. I have seen, when I was born in 1967, I studied in village till 1981. I have seen the condition of roads and everything. But after Panchayat Raj successful, implementation, today, I see a lot of sea change in my village. So ultimate, the truth is this, you have to go there and think and make it sustainable. And it has worked for countries like China and states like Gujarat in our own country, where the Honorable Prime Minister brought a lot of employment opportunities and did a lot of social engineering and infrastructure development right there in the villages, working on livestock production, working on, some kind of a village level, small, medium enterprises development. So I'm coming back here. We were faced with a situation where farmers are getting less, consumers are paying more. So that was a deterrent for encouraging, farmers to grow more and grow better. So farmers are very wise. They are the most intelligent people on this earth. So the moment they say that prices are not good enough, they will reduce the input, and then the whole system is disrupted. India, we basically in this presentation, we will try to understand the most challenging part of the agri value chain. We have mapped, farmers lose maximum value at the place where they sell their produce, because the intermediation is very strong in India. I was talking about just few minutes back the challenges which Indian agriculture faces. One is dropping size of holdings. Second thing, there is a huge intermediation, multiple layer of intermediation at every stage, when they buy input, when they sell output, and everything. There is a agri value chain is highly intermediated. And the third is credit. So availability of institutional credit is very important. And our current government, increased the layout for priority sector lending, for which agriculture is one of the part of this. The layout has increased almost double, from 6 lakh crore to 10 lakh crore today. But unfortunate situation is this: even after having all kind of dispersal mechanism and great digitization, our banking system has achieved, we are unable to basically achieve even 50% of the target of this 10 lakh crore. So the balance 5 lakh crore or 4 lakh crore has to go to farms, has to go to small medium enterprises. So technology is the only solution to all these problems. So I'm coming from a company which was set up by a first generation entrepreneur, and coming from a village only, and a brilliant student of his times, very poor. And then he made it, to US, studied there, worked there, come back, and finally after retirement, the gentleman KVK Raju, he comes, late KVK Raju, he comes back to his village, and he find a lot of differences there, the way people do agriculture outside India, and even within India. Andhra Pradesh being the second largest consumer of fertilizers in country, they were not having even a single fertilizer plant. So he started off setting up a fertilizer plant nutrition, and then plant protection, and then water management, and then finally technology. So the group which I had, the company, it is renamed as Farmgate Technologies. It was established in 1999, and it was India's first agri ICT company. And that was the vision of the founders of the organization with whom I work. So in 2012, we also thought, just asking farmers to invest more in their production activity when they don't have visibility of markets is of no use. This will further push them into vicious debt cycle. And in 2012 to 14, there was a sudden spurt, where farmers are becoming very, very depressed, and loan defaults. And I have already mentioned you, in India, unfortunately, the institutional credit infusion in agriculture is hardly suffice 20% of the requirement. 80%, the working capital is coming from non-institutional private, sources, or that ecosystem, whosoever will supply input, that he will extend credit. So that also eats up into their margins a lot. So why I am setting up such a long background means, if you look at objectively, we need very desperately, Indian agriculture need, first thing is transparency in the system, so that their returns starts building up slowly and slowly, and they regain the confidence. So we also rejig our next 10 years strategy. We said we will not add any other production facility. We will basically try our best to do whatever we can do to bring transparency at the place where farmers are losing more. And this thought came because we have a research and development center where more than 100 eminent scientists, from various IITs and institutes works. We have 254 patents in the field of plant nutrition, but we failed to market those products in India, because the innocent question from the farmer was, tell me why I should invest more. Would you basically guarantee me 1:5 return? If I invest 1 rupees, you will give me 5 rupees return. If not 5, give me 3 rupees return. If not 3, give me 2 rupees return. But I should not lose. So we said we will not roll out these products till the time we do something about it. So fortunately, like Professor Moni mentioned, a lot of thought was going on in that period in the government also, and a strategy was on the place. So except for technology, nothing could have happened. So as a group I joined this group in 2010, and 2011 we did India's first mandi digitization in Punjab for 52 markets. Then we did mandi integrations. First mandi integration of India was done by again our team in Tamil Nadu, 32 markets. So we also gain a confidence, because if you go back and at the time of internet connectivity and other infrastructure availability, IT infrastructure availability in the agriculture ecosystem was very less. But we were very, very confident the moment, by 2014, we became very, very confident that things will be now pacified, and government was also thinking about it. Basis our experience, we got this great project which is called e-national agriculture market. For the benefit of my friends, those who are attending this prestigious webinar, I want to tell you, India has a unique, agriculture commodity marketing system, which was developed in 50s and 60s and 70s. So farmers were kind of not necessarily, but they were mapped to a place which we call mandi, and technically we call it agriculture produce market committee, APMC. So this APMC basically serves a cluster of villages ranging from 60 to 50, 60 to 70 square kilometer area, and but ideally, you one market should serve around 15 kilometer of the radius of villages. And the idea was, the farmers will have an organized system. They will bring their produce at one place, and then it is easy to government also if they want to procure for public distribution system. And also there are service providers inside these markets. So it worked well for us during Green Revolution time, because before that country was not having any kind of infrastructure. But over a period of time, this also created kind of a cartelization at these marketplaces. See, if I'm a farmer, I will harvest my produce, and I need to unlock my money immediately, because I have to go for the sowing of the next crop. And all of us know, agriculture is a season dependent, is a weather dependent, thing. So you have to sow in a limited window, because crop, wherever the life is or wherever the crop production is, it relates to temperature and availability of so many external factors. So you have a window of 30 to 45 days to sow the next crop. You have to sell your current crop, you have to unlock your money, you have to buy inputs for the next crop, and then perhaps this is how your cycle goes on. So once I bring my produce to these markets, I am at the mercy of those 10, 20, 30 people, those who are dealing with this commodity inside that market. So at times, and harvesting happens in a limited time. So there will be oversupply of the commodity. So prices will be most bottom low at the time of harvesting. So, but there is a compulsion. So there was no visibility. When I was young, I will get to know the commodity price in next day's newspaper. When I came to class 12th, I can get some idea on the radio in the night. And then when I was doing my graduation, top 10 or 20 commodities I can see on the TV. But everything is post facto. That does not help. That does not give me, what is happening, how the prices are moving in my catchment. So that opaqueness basically was giving, these traders some opportunity to play with the prices, number one. Number two, quality arbitration. I will bring a class quality, and then, there is no quantification of quality. Whatever they say, I have to agree. And everything is subjective. There is no quantification. Everything is perceptive. So whatever they say, your produce is B quality, okay. So I need money. I will agree with it. I don't have any other option, because my visibility is limited to this particular market only. And whatever I get to know, that is post facto. So quality of quantification of quality, and there was arbitrage these traders will play. They will buy B class at A class at a B class rate and sell it for. So that was again an unfair deal with the processors or the forward consumer of the commodities. So at Nagarjuna, we believe that agriculture production and markets, especially our country, we are agri-driven. Professor Moni has already indicated. Even today, the rural is the growth engine of India. Given all the developments, all the income, disposable income increments in our service classes, middle classes. But if we look at, we sell more deodorants in rural India. We sell more automobiles in rural India. We sell more cement in rural India. Given everything, the income contribution of agriculture has dropped down. Non-agriculture incomes in rural India have increased, but the demand is furthering. Demand will continue to strengthen there, and and we believe that agriculture production and markets are the backbone of all economies. Food is important. You can't live without food. Only thing, our populace gets not that great balanced food. Perhaps in the developed world, people get balanced food, and which is better healthy, better safe. We will also reach there one day. So we say agriculture production and markets are the backbone of all economies, and most profitable and predictable. So they are important, but they can be most profitable and predictable only when you have visibility and choice. So if you don't have choice, what I talked about 2 minutes back, I don't have a choice. I have to accept whatever comes on my way. So as a agri practitioners, it is our job as a responsible corporate or as a responsible citizen of this country that we increase visibility, we give them better choices, more choices for key features, whether buying their inputs or whether selling their output. So this was the basic nucleus of our thought in 2011-12 when we did our corporate strategy raising for next 10 years. So we will quickly try to understand perhaps most challenging part of the Indian agri value chain. So India was kind of, when you don't have enough food, you will think only about production. When you have enough production, you will start thinking about quality. This is quite natural. At the same time, we should have given a thought about marketing also. So perhaps we missed it. So we say, in what we will go through quickly, production to market driven approach. India was driving its agriculture for almost 4 decades, production, and maintaining that production is a cost now. It's a huge cost now. We waste our 35% of our produce, which is equivalent to almost Africa's total food requirement. So this is ironic, because we somewhere miss that planning element. So priorities got shifted, and yes, majority of our India lives in villages, so they also decide who will rule them. So anything related to them is quite sensitive in our country. So it needs a lot of guts to basically go back and tell them. And another thing which I would like to highlight here, fortunately or unfortunately, we decided to subsidize our input side. So the input is good, but you have to basically, you are supposed to define the realization. You have to support the investment on return for the farmers. If you look at major global economies, agri economies, or wherever you see food and agriculture, most of the time the countries, those who decided to subsidize the output, means those who decided to defend the prices for their farmers, their agriculture is better sustainable and better profitable even today. So that was another policy anomaly. Perhaps because of the requirement of that particular time, we need more fertilizers, we need more better seeds. So we decided to subsidize those, but that has to be stopped at some point of time, and then we have to shift to the right side of the value chain. So we will understand what happened from production to market driven economy, three ecosystem fundamentals, Indian agriculture, very small, key trends and reforms and catalyst. Then what, Farmgate is just a name. This is a solution which we thought, if we bring back the confidence, in our farmers and our stakeholders, that technology works. Someone can trade from a mobile application. So then, that this is about, bringing the confidence in technology. So far in India, agriculture technology means production technology, not the marketing technology. So different type of how to increase yield, how to make better product, how to grow more, and so forth, so on. So we will understand, like Professor Moni has rightly said, digital is the way ahead, and market platform economy. Platform economies are changing, world everywhere, and all of us are witnessing, the likes of Amazons in our life, likes of all digital platform. So platform economy is the future. Another thing which I really acknowledge, and that is the truth also, you really, once you have the access, once you have the visibility, you are supposed to act smart. Means you need to take decisions, right at the right time with the right kind of, people, and that makes you smart. And next to smart, you really need to be intelligent. I mean, that will save a lot of time and resources. So, after having spent almost 45 years around agriculture only, so I believe nothing can help us except for the technology right now. Life and chip has to somewhere hybridize. Like they say, the future is for only two things. One is genomics, and the second is algorithm. So coming back to here, we will understand what kind of a solution we could make, and then what is happening around us. So I have taken up a little bit more time to set up the background. So production driven, I mean, these are the key trends which we will look into. So fundamentals of free market ecosystem, this is our understanding. Visibility is centered to the freedom. If you have
Tyagi, can you
visibility,
go to the previous slide? You just, immediately is.
sir, I thought I am running out of time. So okay,
No, no, no problem. No,
okay,
no.
okay.
You have
So sir,
you
the
have all the
part
time
one.
at your disposal. Don't rush up.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Okay.
thank you so much, sir. So what we said, the first section of the presentation or today's discussion is about production driven to market driven agriculture. I From a net importer to fully dependent country to a country which is exporting to the tune of 40 billion right now, and we will cross 60 billion. I am very sure very soon. And a country who has enough of food for 130 40 crore people, correct? So it's a great achievement. So production driven to market driven, I have already established why we need market driven, and Professor Saab has also emphasized a lot. So we will understand free ecosystem and economic development, agriculture in India, key current trends powering Indian agriculture. So we have already I mean, in the first part of today's discussion, a lot of has been highlighted what is the trends right now and what are the trends to be followed in next 5 years or 10 years. So we will understand them again. Evolution of global and Indian agriculture markets, how agriculture markets, commodity markets have evolved in India. Second thing, the government of India is putting up a lot of effort. Where I will again say, I have seen this kind of attraction in somewhere near when I was very young, 74, 73, 72, or after that. Agriculture continue to grow. We continue to grow more. We did many things, but that kind of energy in the system and completely rejig of the things I could witness 2014 onwards only. So I'm very happy about that, and or more than happy that we are contributing for that. So reforms are required. Any society, any business, any policy, any strategy need to be revisited after certain time. It tends to get redundant over a period of time, because people will change, consumption will change, technologies will change. You can't continue with a distribution system which you created in 1952 onwards, which was a replica of perhaps the previous Russian system or whatever. So it is good that we this is a comprehensive document, and I will request all. I was also the one of the contributor in that doubling the farmer income committee. So I will request all of you. So please go through those 14 volumes. India's top 100 agriculture technology and commerce minds have contributed it. Those 14 volumes, you need not to go anywhere. Just go through them. All the data, all the history, all the future, everything is available there. It's a fantastic document, and we also use them. That document as a the guideline, or as a kind of an indicator or pointer towards our business strategy going forward. So this was the content of this section, sir. So what we say, our understanding of free markets. We say when we are democratic, we are the largest democracy. This is our earnest responsibility that we free market and we provide equal opportunity to everyone. Like Professor Saab said, talking about a startup in Mumbai. Today I have got a great, kind of insight. Will not help. Startup at village will help. So finally, definitely, it's a great. I mean, people should perceive and feel and get that relief right there when they need it most. And this is a fantastic, enormously talented country. So visibility is the center to freedom. Visibility is more important, yet most under recognized in our, because we were a controlled economy. Agriculture is in India is a state subject. It is one of the highest subsidized, industry sector. And there are regulations, and there are, rules. So yes, so with free market, maybe we should have minimum controls and let the player come, add value, and do business. That is, this is how it is. They have to come here and invest. Government can't do it, forever. People need to participate. Indian agriculture market is $500 billion plus today, and it is growing at a very fast pace. So 400, almost 300, $400 billion output only, 100, $150 billion, input. So this we have to, the visibility is need to be increased. Choice. I mean, if don't I don't give choice to people, I can't say I am a democratic country. We have to provide choice everywhere. What course you want to pursue, what study you want to get, what kind of a crop you want to grow, where you want to sell, whomsoever you want to sell, you sell. We have to do the financial enablement of the whole value chain, so that farmer can decide to whom I will sell or to whom I will not sell. So choice is important. Then visibility and choice at the core. These one will not survive without the other. So this is our firm belief when we are on a journey to democratize our agriculture markets. So if we try to understand Indian agriculture quickly, our strengths are, Professor Saab has indicated very, very strong parameters. In addition to those, rich biodiversity, 150 plus agroclimatic zone, all the 4 seasons. You can grow anything in this country. We have adopted many exotic fruits. Recently, now avocado we are basically promoting. Before that, kiwi we promoted. Apple was not our, that great fruit. We basically are a major consumer globally now. So rich biodiversity. We are sitting on the second largest, cultivable land parcel in the country. And even our rain-fed agriculture, if you look at, the failures of rains are off late now. I don't know the reason, probably weather specialist or climatic specialist, they can throw a light. But in last 20 years, except for 1999 and 2000, I have not seen major drought, which is, country spread and have an impact on the agriculture. For last 10 years, if you look at the figure, except for 1 year, where our production is increasing. So though, even today, technically, 60%, more than 60% of our agriculture is rain-fed. But water management is a solution which current government is focusing a lot. When we talk about micro irrigation and others, that is again a technology. So climate, it is quite conducive for all kind of crops. A strong and well dispersed research and extension system. Only thing, yesterday Professor Saab was indicating, we have a structure, but it needs a rejig. It need to go into the right kind of hands and right kind of geographies. People, those who can basically value it, people, those who can leverage it. The investment in Indian research and extension system is huge, but yes, it has to again, restructure. Like we said, you have to restructure your study. We have to rejig, everything. You have to redo everything. So it is possible. It is, you can always, if Kisan Vikas Kendras, government can always, outsource these, Kendras. They can say there is infrastructure, there are people. You take 100 and work with farmers. China has done it. So what we call FPO, they need some knowledge backup also. Typical farmer, Kisan Gyan Kendra or Kisan Vikas Kendra, farmer development centers. It should not remain limited to only agronomy. They should basically now imbibe the part of, technology, part of markets. That will give the holistic, picture. So weaknesses, so anything which will have strengths, that will also have some, I don't call it weakness, but area of improvement.
Mr. Tyagi, in this point, I'll say that I suggested Farm Extension 4.0.
Yes, sir. That is it.
So 12 boxes, not only one box of agronomy. Okay, carry on, please.
Correct, sir. You are right, sir. And then second thing, not everything need to be. See, I attended recently another discussion forum. So someone was giving a example, sir. Okay, I am a very, very aggressive one. Government is giving you 10 lakh crore. How you can survive just disbursing 4.5 lakh crore to farmers, which is 50% of your target. And credit is a must for farmers. Some gentleman from banking industry pointed out, Mr. Tyagi, you don't know, servicing is so costly. We make losses, in all agriculture loans. I said, no, I have done a research. I will tell you the default rate in industry, default rate in agriculture, number one, and who need a branch. I have not visited a bank in last 5 years. So you identify youth in villages, and there is a panchayat, there is a e-seva kendra. You start, working there. You start dispersing loans from the e-seva kendra. Who stops you? It is working very well. Everything is digitized now slowly. So that some other time we will cover that. So weaknesses is fragmentation of land, like I said. Sir, 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 you are muted, sir.
Open insurance ecosystem.
Yes.
And fintech solutions,
Yes.
and the banking sector will learn a lesson.
Absolutely, sir. Now you see these fintech platforms, the kind of investment they are attracting globally. Every week I see some or other startup is becoming a unicorn, insurance unicorn. But we have to tell them, guys, come and work with the largest populace.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Our target is 14.5 crore operational holders.
6,43,000
It has to be sustainable.
villages.
And then you said it, I liked it very much. Visibility and choice.
Yes, sir.
Which will come through the openness, open technology. Thank you.
Like, sir, open source, digital commerce is a great idea. Once that protocol is developed, like API world will change for us. So again, sir, weakness is fragmentation of land. A growing country. See, in sometimes in the somewhere in the between 70 and 80, we thought population is going to be our biggest lag puller. But the great countries, they will make their weaknesses their strength. So India, our biggest strength today is our consumption. If you look at it objectively, we have developed market just by increasing the disposable incomes of our middle classes. Government of India gave 4 pay commissions in a concentrated period of 12 years. Correct? 12-15 years. I don't exactly remember the period, but those pay commissions have increased disposable incomes like anything. There is a study, I don't remember the number, but that fueled the consumption like a lot. Once the consumption was fueled, production was fueled. Once the production was fueled, employment generation happened. So the same has to happen here also. So low technology inputs. We say whatever technology there, that should be affordable, low cost. In fact, it should be weaknesses. Up tak what I was talking, that we failed somewhere. We continue to focus on production. We failed to understand the value of quality, safe cultivation, which basically restricted our export potentials, and we continue to subsidize our input side. If we would have protected our farmers on output side, so we would have been better competitive in global markets. Problem is this, we compete in global markets with the advanced economies, and for them agriculture is food, and right from the beginning they are subsidizing. They will throw all the maize in Pacific Ocean just like that, just to protect the price. We can't afford that. So we have to basically think, what is the remedy. Indian farmers can grow at the minimum cost, but the moment you have biggies, mighty powers, those who can throw money like anything, so you will not. One part of the globe is deficient even today. It is a shame for all of us. See, if Africa doesn't get 100% vaccination, why we are living? We can't. One side we have surplus food, other side in our country itself people are dying for the want of food. So these anomalies will be addressed through transparency only, and we have to basically run a movement for transparency for food, transparency for agriculture, transparency for farmers globally. I have gone through a study. Countries like Japan, they also have a very small country, but they have a say. What would be the commodity prices and how the commodity prices will move in international markets. They will not allow us to sell in Africa. They will allow us to import from Africa, but they will never allow us to sell in Africa. because they will continue to supply and discount. So those are the larger issues. Unsustainable water management. So the present government already has a vision, and which is quite a long time. It has been discussed from our great scientist, late engineer, Vishwasaraya Sahib. We have to basically develop our river. India has a lot of water, but we treat it pathetically. And God is so kind on our country. Even today, we are considered to be a highly carbon positive country, thanks to our hilly areas and everything. So somehow God knows from where that balance is coming. We computed it only. Otherwise, it's all nature basically is very important. So we have to think about our sustainable water management wherever rain-fed areas. Then we have to think about our crop strategies. We grow wrong thing at right place, we grow at right thing at wrong place. So there is no fun in growing citrus in Haryana or Punjab. It is better to grow in Rajasthan. Correct. So that also need to look by the scientists and the better informed people. Poor infrastructure. So we basically, like I said, we basically 35% of our production is getting spoiled. Neither farmers are getting price for that, nor consumers are getting a benefit of it. To save that, we need a robust infrastructure, which basically help us. It's kind of a scientific storage of our agriculture output. If it requires controlled temperature, kind of a supply chain, or more than that, forget it. We are a great grain producer. So why we should store in jute bags? Jute farmers are vanishing in India, and I mean jute is not. The word has moved. Packaging material, preferences have moved. A lot of environment friendly packaging materials are coming now. Farmers in West Bengal, they are one of the best farmers. I am working with them for last 12 years. So jute, because you are not giving them option, that is why they are continuing with it, because just outside the house you can grow it. It's a convenience. And yes, there are less supplies, so sometimes it gets good price, sometimes it doesn't get good price, and volumes are reducing, so government also support, but it's not good. We need to move to scientific storage. We really need to develop infrastructure. For example, one of our state government where we are doing a project in Andhra Pradesh, they are thinking a lot on the Professor Moni's thought process line. They have created a village level farmer service center. It is called Raitu Bharosa Center. So if I translate it, it is Farmer Confidence Center or Farmers Trust Center. Correct. So this center is nothing but it's a virtual small time space which basically capture all the data and which basically see to it that farmers are using right kind of a practices. Input availability is there, and they have a different model which I feel is good. So idea is to start creating primary sorting, grading, on field primary processing, and secondary processing. It should be near the production site only. So from almost 250 kilometers wheat belt we have from Delhi till Amritsar. So there is no need to carry that wheat to markets and markets to warehouses. Just create a great big giant silo just in the middle of production belts. Why we should take that produce from fields to mandi to warehouse to FCI to miller, and everything is getting spoiled. So store that in there. So these are the requirement. We really need to stress a lot and focus a lot on rural infrastructure development. I'm very happy to share that more than close to 3 lakh villages have already been connected with fiber. Connectivity is there, and very soon, but I don't have the right kind of figure. I lost the track for last 2-3 months. So I'm sure that by this year, or if not this year, by 2023, our all 6,43,000 villages will be connected. There will be a complete grid, and it's a good fiber. Internet works better in my village than at times in my society in Hyderabad. So it's good news. Low value addition. So we don't add much of value to our produce. I mean, see, a chip might be selling for 70 rupees, but I mean 20-gram potato for 70 rupees, it is good to highlight. But I mean how to create a better alternative? How to basically, I mean, it's a free market. Whosoever have money, they will invest and they will reap the harvest also. So that has to go back to farmers. The farmers share in retail value is very important. Otherwise, we will never achieve the sustainability. See, for example, Canada, their milk industry, they give quota, and they ensure that the IRR is not less than 35%. So if you grow more milk as a country, they know every single cattle. And if the population is going on, they will castrate, they will slaughter, but they see that demand and supply balance is maintained. And on the other hand, for $100, you can fill your fridge for almost a week or 2 weeks requirement, or maybe in months somewhere. So it's important that our people get good food. So we have to work a lot in value addition, food processing, and other things. Opportunities, our yields. For example, I want to tell you, uh, uh, Bangladesh has a better paddy yield than India. Pakistan has a better per acre yield of cotton than India. Nepal Tarais, which is a very, very conducive area for maize, they have a better yield than India. By virtue of our, large cultivation, acreage, we are the highest, producer in n number of commodities. Correct, like fruit and vegetable. Now we have slided to number two. Otherwise, we were one, milk. But still, the gap is huge. I mean, our fertilizer application is in still double digit. Japan, they have 270 kg per hectare kind of, fertilizer application. So we are basically struggling with imbalance of everything. For example, our nutrient application is highly imbalanced. I mean, the ratio which should be 1:2:4, it is kind of 9:3:2. Well, I mean, there is a huge anomaly in our nutrient application. We don't focus more on micronutrients. If you don't give nutrients to crop, how that will come into your food? So we are having a balanced nutrition of the crops, imbalanced food for our population, and then that reflects into crop yields. So our crop yields are not that great. I mean, they are just okay. There is a lot of headroom is there. So we can basically, if we reduce our cost of cultivation and if we increase our output, let us say 3x, so we will be better competitive in global markets. All the surplus we will develop, all the corridors and dump. Once it is consumed, we can realize the money later on also. So these are the things where opportunities are there. Exports, use, agro-based industry, no doubt. Horticulture. Now we have more horticulture production in country than grains. It's a good news because horticulture is important, a major source of nutrition to human and animal populace. Animals are also important. So potential of northeastern parts. God's land, we have one God land already, Kerala. Another is northeastern part. See, incidentally, from agronomic point of view, when we look into the, below or above the Brahmaputra, everything, it's very easy to increase yield there because crop response is very high. Lands are virgin. So in India, for example, in 1970, when we used to apply 1 kg of fertilizer, that converts into 13 kg of output. Today, 1 kg of fertilizers give me 3.3 kg because we have killed our lands, we have killed our soils. But Northeast, you see the same magic. 1 kg is to 14 times. So it's a very, very promising, and we have high value crops, unique crops, medicinal crops. For example, turmeric. World's best turmeric you will find in Northeast, in Meghalaya, and it is called Lingdon turmeric, and curcumin, which is kind of amrut. The percentage is very high, and any good alkaloid, it's not about how much percentage you have, how much percentage of that component, for example, curcumin, is bioavailable. How much my body can, basically absorb. Just increasing yield will not help. You have to increase the bioavailability of nutrient inside it. So it becomes, nutrient fortified. And then with taking less, people will get more nutrition. And it is happening, that is important. And our research infrastructure is capable of doing it, and they are sitting on such a crop varieties. So major contributor to economy. Our contribution to GDP is diminishing. So somehow it got some kind of a hold in last 2-3 years, but it is not good. Where your major population is dependent on, and that particular sector is not contributing to the GDP substantially, then nobody will listen to them in future also. They will continue. It's a cycle. So if farmers of India need to, they are already a formidable force by virtue of their numbers. But from economic point of view, they really need to increase the contribution to economy. When I say farming, I mean rural economy. Small medium enterprise inside the villages. That also kind of a, to me, working capital will come from farming. So to me, it's kind of a farm income only. Maybe you can say rural incomes. Threats, again, holding size, un, unsustainable resource use, unsustainable resource use, unsustainable regional development, and climate variability, monsoon dependence. So, see, point number 3, unsustainable regional development. Our current government has already identified the areas which somewhere, the geographies somewhere we left in our, growth story. So, aspirational districts, 140 aspirational districts have already been identified, and the current government is putting up all the efforts to basically bring them along. Somewhere, like the areas Vidarbha in Maharashtra area, Bundelkhand in UP, every state have some or other regions, primarily sometimes political might, sometimes God, nature's this thing. So climate, so that anomaly, we have to basically, we have to allocate more resources to these districts, and rapid fast their development. So this was Indian agriculture, sir. So, some disturbances coming, sir. Some voice.
No,
I'm audible, na?
no, fine. Yes, available.
Okay.
Audible. Yes, that's true.
So key trends powering agriculture in India. So, like I said, agriculture reforms and government of India initiatives, doubling the farmer income committee, digitization plans, digitization strategies, open network, development, open, that those all strategies are working towards reforming this sector and making it democratic, making it free. So then second thing, push from production to market oriented approach, what we are talking today, how to create better markets, domestic and international, for our farmers, for our commodities. Focus on make in India and exports. So already, Professor Moni has indicated on it. So one district, one product is the new mantra. So we have to increase. We are focusing a lot that we reduce our imports and we increase our domestic production, and we have already achieved this in many areas. For example, if you look at electric items today in India, LED bulbs and others, we were importing a lot from other countries. Today almost self reliant and a better quality. If you look at toys, India is producing now world class toys in terms of plastic, mechanics, electronics, everything. And there are many more fields, retail, apparels, everything. So shift to digital. Digital means living in real time, taking right decisions, and helping people to take decisions. When I say I built a platform, I start from a vanilla platform which facilitates trade. It needs to be smart in next phase, and it needs to be intelligent in phase 3, maturity, where it starts giving wisdom, AI, to the all stakeholders. Then becomes then our goal is done. Then shift to nutritional consumption. I have already talked about it. I mean, it's not good that only 1.75% population gets 70% of the balance, 80% of the balanced food, and 80% lives on the 20%. I mean, that's not good. That's criminal. We have to change it. People, those who are growing for us, if they are not getting right kind of a food and balanced diet, we don't have a right. So even to talk about it. Supply chain is important. This is, as a country in India, need to do a lot. I'm sure India, if you look at Indian growth story, we have one of the least performing supply chain structure globally. We have a 41 ranking. Germany has number 1 ranking. So, and that has a bearing on import and as well as exports. That has a bearing on cost also. So now you must be knowing, and you must be hearing, and the government is thrusting a lot on road infrastructure. It has improved in the areas a lot where it was almost not non-existence. For example, our state of Uttar Pradesh. So supply chain has, one component is mobility, other component is documentation, third component is, repetition. So if I am exporting something, number of documents I have to. I really, in India, high time when India should have a national logistic portal. Everything is digitized. Blockchain is there. Law, in the name of security and regulations, sanctity, you just can't stop and do that. Not that wise paperwork, duplication. So that is a great deterrent. Investors are not coming here. They say everywhere you have a bureaucracy. A custom clerk can hold my consignment worth 20 billion dollar or 10 billion dollar. We import a lot of fertilizers, sir. So I have also felt it. If you have good roads, if you have an integrated platform, you have a good loadability, you can assure the return loads also, your cost will reduce substantially, your time will be reduced substantially. So supply chain in agriculture is again very important. So we have to work a lot on it, and we have thoughts on it. So I will move forward. This is how markets have evolved in India, or for that case, they say globally. So, but I mean, market 1.0 was completely output physical markets. People will grow in villages, and small villages will take their produce to large villages, and there will be a weekly market, and then buyers will come, and there was a barter system. They will give you something, they will take your produce. Fresh was confined to most of, we say one term is there in agriculture marketing, it is called marketable surplus. Means the produce available for selling. Whatever, you will keep something for your domestic consumption or consumption of that village or society. What is, or down the lane in a year. So marketing surplus was not that great. So that was a dynamic, balance. People will grow exactly what they will consume and little more marketable. So our villages were highly sustainable. You will find a carpenter, you will find a blacksmith, you will find a weaver, you will find a printer, cloth printer, you will find a tailor, you will find everything. You will find a doctor, everything nearby in a small ecosystem. So they will also grow, first to sustain, and then second to sell something which have a value. Market 2.0 basically, and then the extension of physical output markets were our mandi system. You have created a infrastructure, you have created a brick and clean, a structure which is called agriculture produce market, and in a catchment of 50 to 100 kilometer, people will come, they will bring their produce, they will sell it, and they will take the input from the most of the time from the same place. So that was our distribution system. And most of the public distribution, PDS, buying, जिसे हम कहते हैं कि भाई, what we call in India for some commodities, government of India to give relief to farmers, they procure what we call it, minimum support price. So minimum support price was conceived to support farmers, but not for forever. So support is good to make one take off, not to make someone dependent on it. So somewhere you really need to say, guy, you are good enough, fly, and we will shift this support to people, those who need it more. So that was supposed to happen, but because of the sensitivity of the issue, it could not happen. So market 1.0 were absolutely physical, subjective, and cartelized of late. Market 2.0, what we tried to did in Punjab, digitization. So we said people, discouraged us, but when you have one good person at place, you can do anything. So then, MD of marketing board and then chief minister was very forward looking. They could understand what we were talking. And fortunately, one of the large corporate, Bharti Retail, they were trying to do, market reforms and a lot in agriculture at that point of time. So they were investing also, and they convinced government, all of us, retailers also, we convinced governments to basically relax the restrictions. Unfortunately, the Indian output markets are regulated. They are regulated by governments. So that restricts the movement of commodity from one place to other place, and choices also. So that was kind of a counterproductive for the development of markets. So what we did, we basically within a market, we mapped the whole process. We put up the large screens and kiosks, because in 2011 it was very difficult to visualize. You were not having kind of mobile phones we have, and we just moved. We were in a SMS era, I would say. We were in a SMS era. So post what you call pager to SMS. That was the time. So we did complete a process mapping, and then we made a software and digitized the whole process, and farmers can have visibility at least what is happening in mandi. Generally, one farmer will remain attached to throughout his life cycle with and generations together to one commission agent, because there is a ecosystem. And commission agents also basically they lend money to these farmers without any collateral, because they have their own system of knowing how much crop is growing, where he is investing this money. At times they will also make farm visits to see that their investment is at place, and at the time of harvesting they become over vigilant, so that produce is coming and they are realizing, and they charge hard interest. When I started my career, I was surprised to see, because I migrated to a geography called Punjab from UP. So I see that 36% was the interest charged and compounded. So people were doubling their money in 2.5 years. So that has dropped down today to 18 to 12%, thanks to a great instrument called Kisan Credit Card. So Kisan Credit Card, they forced. We have around 9 crore 75 lakh healthy and working Kisan credit cards today, and farmers have they get discounted credit there at the rate of 4% and 6% and there is a limit decided. On an average, a farmer gets 1 lakh to 3.5 lakh rupees, which is good enough. And you have to settle it season wise or at least in once in a year, and it is working now. And default is happening only when someone gives a hint that loans can be waived. The moment you say I will waive the loans, the whole economy, the financial system stops, and that basically spoils the whole effort. So this farmer credit card forced these money lenders, because there was an option created to drop the interest, and a lot of change came in the banking system also. And private companies, they also pushed, like Mahindra and others, selling, they also worked with banks to sell their tractors. That is a separate case. That a 2-acre farmer does not need a tractor. It's a liability to them. It will make them bankrupt. I don't believe in this. You need a machinery fitting to their system. So we have to think on that. So they were the physical markets. Second were what we did in digitization of a standalone agriculture market, and then these markets are talking to each other. Visibility among a cluster of markets. We did it in 2011 in Tamil Nadu. Market 3.0 is the linking of output markets across country, which was ENAM. So this government came forward. They floated this tender. We could basically get this bid purely out of our understanding of agriculture, and by being a major fertilizer player in the country, our expertise in large implementations and supply chain capabilities, we were doing at that point of time around 4.2 million ton of our fertilizers everywhere. So reach. So that helped us to basically enter here. And more than that, iKisan's presence since 1999. iKisan from 1999 till 2012 did around 140 ICT projects with various state governments, different types of information dissemination projects, and it was India's first agri informatics website also. So market 3.0 was basically linking agri output markets across country. So the first slice was 585 markets, which we were supposed to digitize in 24 months. We achieved that feat in 15 months. And then government said, okay, this number is not sufficient. Let us add 415 markets more. And those markets, majority of those markets, we basically integrated those markets in COVID. And within 45 days we added 415 markets in wave 1, COVID wave 1. So our role here was to chalk down the entire strategy and implementation plan, develop the platform, run the platform, and on the top of it, we were supposed to convert 10% of uh, the trade happening in these 1,000 markets from physical to digital. So we achieved in phase 1 21% conversion, almost double of our target. So it was one of the largest implementation. We put it up people at all the 1,000 markets, and a complete strategy was chalked down. When we started off, challenges were many. People said, you have basically you are trying to attempt something which will never happen, because which farmer will use mobile phone, which farmer will understand what computer is, which farmer will use it. So we said farmer can understand monocrotophos. Farmer can spell out a company called Maktesim Makan. Farmer can, understand so many things. What is it? It is nothing. They understand the most complex problems. They are the best business managers. They know each penny how much they have invested in this crop. 60-70% of the farmer can tell you, how much I have invested in this crop and what is my net profit. And those who are having an education less than 8th class. And I have seen many farmers, and I'm sure many of us have seen many farmers, our grandfather, 4th class, 5th class, 6th class, 7th class, but they have built great structures. Their office springs, they are running world today. So we said, no, we know what farmer can understand and what farmer cannot understand, no worries. Then second was internet connectivity. So government was very much committed. We say we have done it. No, we have just worked. Implementation was done by that, team. The scheme is one of the priority program of Government of India, and it was driven by PMO. So that was Market 3.0. Market 4.0 will be, end to end. I mean, you have to enable full value chain. What Andhra is trying to attempt means e-commerce capability, farmer to consumer visibility. I mean, full scale. But with like markets evolve, like is you will have vanilla place where people can just buy and sell. Then it becomes smart, and then it becomes intelligent. So this market 4.0 is something which right now we are working on, and then market 5.0 and 6.0 is very ambitious, where we say someone from Amazon or someone from Alibaba will engage with a group of farmers called FPO. They contract with each other, they act with each other. But yes, technology will help it. It is possible. I have all the belief. If we have come to market 4.0, there is no way why we should not reach in half of the time to market 6.0. So this is how further explanation, regulation on agriculture trade, to ensure why Indian agriculture was regulated. For example, our milk for Western geography was controlled by one entity called Paulson Dairy. It was owned by one Britisher. So someone came and established Amul. And to establish, to stand in front of, that monopolistic regime, you need regulation. Otherwise, these giants, these business giants of those era, that era, they would have never allowed, cooperatives to come up to do something about it. So that was the need of our ensure fair marketing practices prevalent. I mean, some traders also need to have some fear. That is a separate case, because we stressed it too far. It ended up in cartelization. So, and then agriculture being a state subject, we have different type of implementation and the kind of you say ecosystem. For example, Western geography is better evolved, and if you look at Hindi heartlands, they are not that great evolved. And so that was completely dependent on the policymakers and implementation. So regulation is a state subject. Post-harvest management, including, we did something. It's not like this we have not done. And FCI has done a lot of, it's a great infrastructure worldwide. If you look at the kind of volumes they handle, and until the time we were not having kind of electronics, development, and most of the things were physical. Computers were not there. They performed well. Once the computerization came, once we started moving towards the real time, their performance, is absolutely, definitely is need to be looked into, because a lot of, I mean, we purchase X price and we add value to it. We will mill it. We will purchase a pulse, for example, 5,000 rupees a quintal. We will invest another 1,000 rupees for milling it, and the processed product we sell for 3,500. So there is something wrong. I mean, that can only be helped by digitization, transparency. So farmer, you have to support state governments. For example, Andhra Pradesh state government, their annual losses in farm procurement is ranging from 2,500 to 3,000 crore. They are at pain. It's not going anywhere. It is being eaten by someone else who has got nothing to do here. So we have to address all this. So price realization of farmer produce, we have enough discussion around it. Like, I got this word for rest of, going forward my life, platform economy. It's important. Platform means, everything at one place, better choices, better decisions, minimal time lag, solid facilitation. For example, I tell people, see, I will discuss it down the line. So, need for unit, there is no second thought. Platforms is the future, and that is why wise people those who basically run the economies of this world, they are investing in platforms, fintech platforms, agri-tech platforms, whatever, wherever they are, consumer durable. So, government also, free trade regime, government is trying their best, and it is required. So this was, recently there was a lot of hola bola about these three laws. People at times, in a democracy, it is at times, I mean, it is difficult to basically explain the benefit, because we are a diverse country. Every 10 mile everything changes. Our language will change, our practices. We are a highly diversified but unified country. So levels of understanding are very different. For Kerala, 100% literate population. UP or many parts of the country, for example, they still have to come up to that understanding despite all media information availability. And then culturally, we have very different people. So selling some reform, I mean, it is a very, very challenging job in this country, where you are asking people to come out of their state of comfort. The same was happened when, people were told, you just want to take 1 kg of sugar, or whenever there is a marriage, you need to take a permit. Pre-reforms, you need to take a permit for cement. You will have only one scooter, Bajaj. You will have two cars, and bank loan, impossible. Today, even if I say in my dream I need loan, five people will make my life hell tomorrow morning. So this perhaps somehow, I mean, a few of, I want to share with you, I mean, this resistance to these reforms were confined it to the geographies where intermediation is very high. If you look at ENAM implementation in the geographies where intermediation is less, or outside the mandi transactions are high, was not there at all. For example, Andhra Pradesh, we have a 65,000 crore worth market outside the mandi. So people were okay with it. There was no protest at all. So what government was trying here, they wanted to deregulate the agriculture markets. They wanted to give a legal framework for the benefit of both. Contract farming. Why contract farming is required? Because we have to consolidate our holdings. Farmers really need to have a better negotiation power when they buy inputs and when they sell their output. And it is possible only through consolidation. I can tell you, in northern geographies, there are many villages where the lands have, basically fragmented to the level when they don't come under the definition of agriculture land. So people are in huge distress. Population density is increasing. So we really need to go back and tell them, boss, unite. And basically, I mean, you need to start living together. So geographies where community living is a part of their history, for example, Gujarat, Samuhikta, living together, and see, their cultural festivals. All people will come at one place and celebrate. You will find the oldest societies in India in Ahmedabad city, correct, poles. So cooperatives were highly successful in Gujarat and part of Maharashtra, purely because that was a part of their life. People, those geographies, those who continue to fight from outsiders, insiders, whatever. So it takes time for that kind of a cultural change. And we have to understand. And the good news is this: probably the next generation has a belief in technology thanks to this instrument. They feel that they are empowered. They know better than their father. They know better than their grandfather. They can find out solution to everything for Google Baba. Uh, Amazon's highest growing segment is women's in rural. Correct. You can check the postal delivery data, and no doubt Facebook highest expansion is happening in our rural areas only, and the most powerful influencers and bloggers, video bloggers on YouTube are coming from rural India only. I am also using them to promote my products and solutions because it is affordable. So this is good. So legal framework, contract farming is, because if we really want to give some benefit to processors, they really need to have good quality. They really need to have good material without any intermediation, and those kind of things are possible when farmers are a bankable entity and corporate is already a bankable entity, and technology basically facilitates building trust between these two things. Essential Commodity Act is useless. A country who have 1.5 time of its requirement, 3 years food. What essential commodity? Everywhere food is available, and in a free market we should have surpluses. And if there is a shortage, government can always intervene. So they were very simple. They just wanted to liberate the trade, private entrants and investments. There is a rough estimate. We have deterred investment close to $50 billion in a very short period in agriculture sector by repelling these. But I'm sure now people are realizing we interact farmers a lot every day, and now they, at times we take a stand, and that it becomes a question of whatever you say, our ego or stand, and later on we realize, okay, they have agreed to me. Now there is no problem, and political mandates are coming on those lines only. So this is the agriculture marketing ecosystem in country. One is a defined brick and clean and infrastructure which is called mandi, and there is another structure, trade happening outside the mandi. So regulators in each state, they will announce there are notified commodities, means the commodities whose trade is regulated, and there are denotified commodities, means whose trade can happen anywhere. So the good news is, almost 6 to 8 states have already adopted these reforms. Major states, silently, because they know they can't stop it. Second thing, so we thought, just reforming mandi will not help. We have to do something, because that is the future. Outside the mandi ecosystem is nothing but services at farm gate. Why farmers should trouble to village, move outside the village? And in a very philosophical note, one of the eminent, professor like Dr. Moni, so told one day, see, we have to go back to our roots, son. Our villages were always, self-sustaining. So you have to think what will make them not to leave villages. Do whatever you want to do. You are not doing anything new. This is a cycle. You evolve and you will come back where then and there again. So it gives a lot. No science can sustain without philosophy. No corporate can sustain without philosophy and value. So this is my belief. So e-national agriculture market we are doing purely for organizing the national trade happening inside these markets. And outside the mandi, e-farm market is a project which we have started in Andhra Pradesh to serve at the farm gate. So taking it forward quickly. So now that we have entered into section B of today's interaction. So here we will be covering comprehensive value chain platform, output market, CNAM and e-farm market. Like I said, for a remote trade, if you look at Amazon, I have worked in retail for almost 10 years. And this all, previously India Today magazine, basically they launched catalog selling. And I'm sure Professor Moni must have, or many of you must have looked into that. They started selling through a catalog inside their magazine, India Today. And that was a runaway hit magazine, and even today. So they will offer few products, you will order, but that could not take off because India is a touch and feel market, and a negotiation market. Our populace, if they don't negotiate, they don't drive that pleasure of shopping. And if they don't feel, they will not buy. They will feel cloth. What is there in a cloth? If I say it is a cotton, it's a cotton. But this is in our genes. So touch and feel. And the second thing, negotiations. Housewife will fight for 50. I was in Mother Dairy Safal division, and onion brought down a government, and later on pulses became very, very sensitive issue. So for 50 paisa she can invest 50 minutes. But you increase, there is a spurt in 50 paisa price in potato, onion, tomato is 55% of our fruit and vegetable consumption. So slight sensitivity in these items can brought down governments. So this is how our as a consumer we used to be, but not today. A lot has changed after COVID. These are the studies which were telling it. So quantification of quality is a must for agri remote trade, electronic trade. Professor Moni is sitting in Delhi. I am in Hyderabad. So if he is purchasing, let us say, some good sweet orange from me, I am a farmer. So till the time he is assured about the quality. Today, agriculture markets quality is decided purely by subjective evaluation. There is no quantification. So trust is parked in that particular facilitator service provider. We have to, machine is neutral. It does not favor anything except for merit. We have to transfer this trust into machine. For example, many of the Indians I know for sure, when they used ATMs first time. So if there is a default, you have received a SMS that your money is detected and money is not coming out of ATM. So first 3 years, banks have fantastic experience. People were fighting. People were shouting. They are running to nearest, banks where my money is. Even me, decently educated person purchases some consumer durable item in Gurgaon in a market, and then there is a debit of 4,000. I received the SMS, and this fellow and me both are. Then the shopkeeper says, "Sir, you take 4,000, and then once it is credited in your account back, you can give it me again." I said no problem. But then he was sharing me every third customer. That is how we discourage. Today, people don't even count money. 90% people don't even count money in urban areas. All youngsters, I have watched. It will just come out. Khatam. So that trust need to be transferred into money, and that will come through a robust system, process, and technologies. So quality quantification is important. So we have basically identified a group of youngsters and students from IIT Jodhpur, and they have made a fantastic solution. We will go through it. And then supply chain is important. So a platform, basically, now time has come. We define the basics of a platform. What a platform does.
Tyagi, can you have to rush it up.
Okay.
So I will go through the slide, but
Okay, I will make it fast. I can do that. No problem. Right, sir. So essentially, a platform really need to give, number one, more choices to buy and sell.
You slightly move to the previous one. You go to the previous one, and then
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So a platform need to give you. I took some liberty. So a platform need to give more options to buy and sell. A platform really need to facilitate the price discovery. A platform really need to facilitate the trade, and then you really need to settle the transaction. Means money should be basically paid securely, and you should be able to settle the delivery also. So this is the minimum expected out of a platform. So going forward, so this is what we do fundamentally. We have a company Fertis, then there is a Farmgate, then Nebula, then logistics. So our entire business strategy is chalked down in the same way. Means I will come to know the quality of a particular farmer produce. If he is not getting right kind of a value, I goes back to him and work with him through Fertis to have right kind of a nutrition or whatever solution is required to improve his quality and fertility, quality and production. Once that is done, I take care of their marketing also through Farmgate solutions, and then through logistics we basically take care of their entire logistic requirement. So this is our corporate basket of companies. Correct, sir. So Fertis basically, this slide is somehow uh, distorted. I don't know why. So I will skip it and I will come to next. Our idea is once in one of the market we were basically testing this Nebula solution, which electronically quantifies the quality of a produce. One farmer gets 110 rupees per quintal more for his wheat, desi wheat, than the other. This other farmer from Barabanki comes to me with a lot of agitation. He said, "Sir, you have put it up this machine, and I got 110 rupees less than my neighbor. What is my fault?" Now, I said, "Your produce is like this." He said, "Who will tell me how I will improve it?" Then I said, "We will improve it. Don't worry." So this was the idea of branching of Fertis from Nagarjuna and establishing a company which deals with macro and micronutrition together, crop specific, stage specific. So that was the background of Fertis. Once we improve quality, obviously he's going to get. So ENAM integration. I mean, this is a PMO project, Prime Minister Office project, one of the priority program for country, and the objective was basically enable farmers to get quality based pricing, and they should have real time visibility of price movements, and finally they should be able to sell wherever they get the best price. So this was how it was launched by our honorable Prime Minister. In fact, it is his vision on 14th of April 2015. So these are the attributes or uniqueness of ENAM. So largest digital integration in agriculture marketing globally, and it has been recognized by various international bodies. And then real-time information and complete digitization of market structure. I have already explained it. So this is what ENAM could achieve in last 6 years. So world's largest agriculture export market recognized by COSAMB. So COSAMB is basically the association of all marketing associations. So far we have digitized 1,000 markets in 18 states and 3 union territories, and this is the distribution and density. We have tried best to basically wherever the ecosystem is conducive, and but it is spread it through everywhere. Even now, Karnataka we have a market, West Bengal we have markets everywhere, Kerala. So till date we have done now. Volume has crossed 50. This slide is somehow they forget to update, but 55 million we have already crossed, and the value is $25 billion. We have already crossed 175 commodities, and 400 plus varieties are trading on the platform, and commodity like bamboo, commodity like coconut means we have done a calculation that we have covered more than 85% of the market through these 175 commodities. So we have 20 million plus farmers. In fact, these are the farmers, those who are retentive farmers. Otherwise, the peak number was close to 3 crore, 30 million. But right now, 20 million farmers, we can say, are repeat users, are using platform quite frequently. We have, traders and commission agents, more close to 3 lakh. FPOs, farmer producing organizations, yesterday only we crossed 2250 number. So 2,250, FPOs are already registered and working on platform. Close to 3 lakh, 300,000, commission agents and traders and service providers are there, and more than 20 million farmers are there. So we are going to add another 1,000 markets in by next Rabi. So trainings, these are the old numbers. Right now we have crossed, we are doing some more than 100 trainings per day in ENAM 2. So ENAM 1 was for first 5 years. ENAM 2 government again floated a bid, and again we won it. And ENAM 1 was kind of, it helps in bringing that kind of a visibility of price movements and transaction settlement. ENAM 2 will be working in a more comprehensive, bringing all the whole ecosystem at one place. And the second thing, what I said, the delivery settlements and basically financial facilitation. This is how ENAM works. A farmer will come to the one-time registration is there. We have around 3.2 crore, 30 million plus farmers registered, but active user base is close to 20 million. So gate one-time registration is there. Then farmers will come. There is a gate entry, and then he will declare how much commodities, how many commodities he has brought and what is the approximate weight. Then this commodity goes for assaying. All the 1,000 markets, 927 markets already have assaying infrastructure there. So that will be assayed, quality is quantified and uploaded. Then it goes for bid. So when it goes for bid, so I mean there is a bidding window, and traders will bid. Once the window closes, it is farmer's choice. If he is happy, he can accept the highest bid or he can reject the highest bid. And then he says, if I'm not happy, it will go for the next round of the trade. Once the trade is done, payment will be done and sales agreement will be generated. So all the payment scales, because I told you, there is a great play in payments. Farmer will bring 100 quintal and then it will be cleaned or whatever, and in the name of because these payment scales and bridges were not electric, and most of the time farmer will lose some or other volume. 100 kg will convert into 80-85. So 10-15% inefficiency was there. So what we did, we basically integrated all the electronic, all the scales and bridges with the system, and non integrated bridge cannot enter into the system. You can't do anything post facto in ENAM. There is a high level of security protocols under the IGC NIC. So, and then once the payment is done, transaction is settled, it moves out of gate. I have already repeated these numbers. So humongous number and insights. So these are the few modules which ENAM have today. For example, there is an instrument called warehouse deposit receipt. So if a farmer is not selling his produce, he can keep the produce in a WDRA approved warehouse, and 70% of the fair price prevailing will be credited into his account immediately. So that, when the prices are minimum, supplies are maximum, he can avoid that distress selling. He can meet out his working capital requirements. So entire WDRA module is integrated with ENAM now. So there are different modules: payment module, FPO module, cooperative module, Farmgate module, REMS. We are integrating other platforms also, e-permit module. So these are the modules. Now these are the figures. Again, all data. So I have already shared with you. So this portal is available in 12 languages, and GPS based mandi and warehouse locator. If I am a farmer, before moving to, I can intimate in advance to the ENAM market, and before moving from my village, I can see the prices prevailing in 50-kilometer radius, 25-kilometer radius, 100-kilometer radius, 150-kilometer radius, so that I come to know where the prices are best. In Telangana, ENAM Mandi has fetched close to 10,000 rupees quintal of cotton recently, 3 days back, and non-ENAM Mandi, it was selling for 6,800. And close to 70% of the turmeric farmers in Andhra, Telangana, they have already come to the portal because we have the buyers also. So like any e-platform, lot progress, how your lot is moving towards bidding. So you can track the progress like a courier. So shopping cart, weather forecasting is there real time, multi-banking, all the payment options available except available in country are there. Live trade dashboards. You can see price movement, how much I have sold, what I got, everything. Incentives. The state governments are giving incentives to farmer, so farmer can see how much selling on the ENAM, how much incentive I have already got. Kisan Rath integration. Kisan Rath was an application developed by NIC, and basically we onboarded 1 million truck during COVID on ENAM portal, but it could not be operationalized. The peculiar factor with Indian agriculture or agriculture anywhere is you can make any software, any platform. If you don't have implementation capabilities, it will not fly. So advanced supply and demand, I can say we are 10 farmers. We have, the bottle guard availability of this much of quantum for next 7 days. And the same way buyer can tell. It is happening very well from Ajadpur Mandi right now. So mobile push and notification is a journal, e-commerce platform. This is ENAM 2. This is being attempted first time globally when, n number of platforms will be operating together. So our idea is, the next ENAM is platform of platforms. So all the platforms operating in the country, government, non-government, private, startup, everyone can come here. For trade, for services. Services means logistics, assaying, warehousing, transportation, finance, whatever. We are going to launch it on 14th of April. It is already done. So all the services you will see here, all the mandis, everything, bringing everything at one place is the platform of platforms. So that the startups get a national visibility. And because they are struggling, Agriculture startups are struggling because it's not easy for a new entrant to have that kind of a presence and understanding and knowledge base. So these are some snippets, how ENA markets are working. This is the mobile application trading activity. These are certain more how highlights. So I'm coming to this was all about Mandi. So now we will quickly go through, what we are doing outside the Mandi.
Can you put the previous slide? You just clicked it immediately. Okay, carry on.
Okay. So e-farm market is outside the mandi. The idea is to serve farmers at Farmgate. So accordingly, because inside the mandi there is a gate, and the functionalities are different. Outside the mandi, functionalities are basically completely different. So the whole application is customized, and it takes care of end to end, farmers need. So we are implementing with the government of Andhra Pradesh. Is a shared revenue basically project, and which was aimed to increase Andhra Pradesh State Marketing Board incomes also by 30%, because a lot of transactions are not being tapped. You understand, sir? 1,000-ton material will come to Mandi, and this will attract a fees of, let us say, 3%. So oftenly we found that the Mandi revenues in ENAM markets have gone up by 40% for ENAM commodities. So that is the magic of digitization. You can't, I mean, people will do malpractices. They don't book, the actual quantum, which is criminal, for countries planning also. So few of the mandis and state governments have mandated it that you have to route everything through INAM. I mean, you can't save that mandi fees and basically share it. So these are the features. I mean, these all are, additional features: commodity profiling, onboarding of the farmers and buyers, integration of logistic providers, localized. This is hyper local. So digital payments, verified buyer and sellers. In e-farm market, each player is verified through a matrix, so that trust comes. And Andhra Pradesh government is giving a guarantee to buyer and seller that your money is safe and you will get for what for you have paid. So this is the beauty of e-farm market. Integrated electronic quality assaying. So this is the workflow basically. So farmer, RBKs are the Right to Bharosa centers. So registration is done there only, and then the whole, the moment commodity is ready in the village, it is upload. Farmer can take a picture, and there is a provision in the application. You can take 360-degree picture, and that picture is uploaded. Then quality assaying man goes, takes sample, and gives the quality assaying report. And then we basically provide or flow the leads from ENAM, national leads, and basically facilitate the trade. A team of 250 people is implementing this. This is important. This is the future. So Nebula is all about machine vision and AI-based quality assaying and analytics. It is a patented technology which we have developed in last 3 years. This technology basically, you put the sample in machine. This machine gives you, through artificial intelligence and machine vision, it gives you 99% accurate and 99% repeatable result of 32 agriculture commodities grains. So agriculture commodity quality quantification is highly manual. You have to do it manually. You have to segregate each grain. So if the same sample I segregate and the same sample Professor Moni segregate, because we are human, so there is every chance that there will be a mistake. But this system is the unique and first of its kind. So it is patented, and we have deployed 500 machines so far in different mandis and 32 grain commodities. This is all about physical parameters. Where chemical parameters are important, for example, oil percentage, curcumin percentage, capsaicin percentage. So we are developing a solution which is under patent right now. So which is under patent. You will be knowing oil content like your blood sugar in a moment, and with a whole accuracy. And it is important. So this is how challenges of manual quality testing. Cumbersome, time consuming, all physical. This is how they do it. There will be a lens, and you segregate each grain. There are different bowls. You count, you weigh. So physical. What we have done so far, 7 states we have deployed. Industries, we have deployed these machines in seed industry, millers, FMCG, exporters, animal feed, retail. And every year, basically, we do some contest in IITs, taking one problem and try to basically start a little bit in third year, float that problem to students because they struggle for ideas. And I have a number of use cases where I am struggling. So I float those use cases to them and invite them. You work on it, come with a minimum basic POC, minimum basic, and then I will basically definitely facilitate the investment in you. So 1 minute, say less than 1 minute, 95% time reduction, 99% accuracy, 99% repeatability, 35 commodities, covers each grain. Each grain is tagged, Professor Saab. So, and going forward, each grain is tagged, segregated in system, and going forward it will be blockchain. We are working with DMI to basically decide the protocols, and once the protocol is approved by the industry and NIC and everyone, so you need not to keep the sample for any kind of a legal thing. I mean, you have a blockchain cloud, each sample is unique. So all uniqueness, it is, can be brought. Works and in and out of internet. It can work without internet also. No requirement for sample preparation. One solution to all crops. Integrated weighing scales. It basically takes care of all parameters which gives confidence to a buyer. So this is backed by deep learning, and the whole system is integrated. The moment some problem arises in some machine somewhere, immediately we come to know, and we have a system that this can be resolved either remotely or a physical person will go and resolve the problem. We are building a database going forward, like Professor Saab, indicated me last day. See, all these insights will basically give block-wise strategies finally. You know the quality, you know what is moving from one place to other place. So you can work those kind of a micro crop planning status. So MAT is useful for mandi, trader, miller, processor, exporter, warehouse, consumers, and middleman. Everyone really, if the two traders trust, they trust each other, they don't trust each other. And if something goes wrong, definitely there is a arbitration. I mean, there is a problem. So APMC, we will deploy it. FMCG, seed company, poultry feed exporter, miller, retail chain, food and civil supplies. We have already started deployment with a food and civil supplies, sir. Already 6 machines we have deployed in Andhra Pradesh. They are into 4 season, and officers there tells us that they have achieved 40% efficiency. 40% efficiency in their procurement, and nobody can challenge. Logistic is simply about thinking about how do you settle the deliveries. So it's again a digital platform. We are building it. Real time information is there. Lot of analytics is involved. We are developing pan India franchisee network to serve and sell in other mandis. Our idea is to develop only rural. When we say logistic franchisee and quality franchisee, I don't do anything for cities. I do everything for primarily for farmers or the related quarters. So it is very clean because idea is to solve their problem, not the whole world's problem. So agriculture technology in India after ENAM's success, partial success or whatever you call it, but they say it's a great success. At least we could see the price in real time. At least when we started off, one lot used to get 1.6 bids. Today, one lot is getting 6.6 bids. At least for one lot, you have 6 buyers. And the moment farmer starts and he can go and fight with the man. Hey, prices are going on like this 20 kilometers away. I have seen farmers. We have videos, silent videos. We have put it up cameras and captured the benefit. So it is coming up very well. So after ENAM, before ENAM, there was a traction, but not to this thing. And post reform private, probably we could have got more attractive, more investments. So this is how. This is important. I will take some 2 minutes to explain it. So this is what is happening in agri-tech in India. So private equity investment into agri-tech has reached to $66 billion. And it has grew more than 50% annually for last 4 years, 16 to 20. It's growing at a rate of 50% post-ENAM. It has reached to 66 billion, one of the most attractive sector today. India currently has over 1,300 agri startups, which are actively employing artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT to increase efficiency and productivity in the sector. Agri-tech revenue growth is approximately 85% from 1920 to, from 1819 to 1920. Revenue growth is 85%, which is phenomenal. No agri-tech, no startup in other sectors are registering this kind of a growth. Potential is $25 billion by 2025. Sir, I mentioned a figure of $50 billion. That was government's estimate. They will be able to attract in 5 years $50 billion for this sector. 25 billion is E&Y's projection, independent of uh, reforms, laws, or anything. So, agri-tech, private equity investment in agriculture startup between 2017, when ENAM was grounding, and 2020 amounted to $66 billion. So that confidence is coming. Since 2015, if we go down the lane, if we see, what has happened after 2020. So US dollar 242 million, they could attract, and the meat, agri-tech industry and delivery segment startup received maximum. I say, delivery settlement is important, supply chain is important. You also mentioned that is towards farm, inbound and outbound from farm supplies, they are attracting a lot of, because in case of trading, Enam is doing good and couple of other platforms are there. So 83 million is the, and supply chain is obviously. So these are the major fields: digital agriculture, all crop advisory and everywhere they are working. Better access to input. Few of the startups are focusing on input distribution, farming as a service, financial innovations, agriculture marketing, and quality management and traceability. So we see growing segments. अगर हम देखते हैं, marketplace and e-distribution startup number is today 400 to 500. Globally, 2000 to 2200 companies are working in this space, marketplace and e-distribution. So the size investment in India is 316 million in 2018 to 20. Major notable companies: Dihat, AgroStar, Ninja Cart, Waycool. SI Farm Input, 250 to 300 startups are working here. Globally, 1000 to 1200. 36 million is the investment they have attracted. Companies are No Genes, Myco, Grow, Tilleris, Biotech. As crop quality assessment, 30 to 50 startups are working in India, 300 to 500 globally. 10 million is the investment attracted. Clove, Occipital, Tech, Genitron, and our Nebula are the major players here. Uh, no, Nebula comes in precision agriculture and farm management. Basically, it comes under precision agriculture. You quantify each drain. So 75 to 100 companies are working here. 1500 to 2000 globally. 24 million was the investment attracted between 18 and 20. Cropin, Intellolab, Nebula, all this, they come here. Finance and insurance, 20 to 40, 150 to 200, 7 million. A great jump is expected here now, because fintech is evolving very great, and agri fintech has the immense potential, because government, microfinance companies have failed. Government, thrust a lot of, distribution of priority sector lending, and it is converted into bad debts. So great opportunity, finance and insurance. Farmer advisory content, 75 to 100, 1 million. Hydroponics, likewise, a lot of, traction is there in this industry. This is the startup ecosystem segment wise. I will share this presentation with all the participants, because knowledge, wisdom, money, more you share, more open, open networks. You have to open your networks everywhere. Share more, grow more. Gone are the days I will have a monopoly, I will sit on some technology. That is not going to work. The beauty is how many people you reach out and distribute. So this is the whole startup ecosystem. So you can see the companies and everything. So this is all I have to share today. Questions? Sir, I have taken a lot of time. Sir, your voice.
For me, as a technocrat, he initiated the project of AgmarkNet in 1999 when the previous NDA won government and the party has lost 5 states due to onion price.
Yes.
And then I have been, operationalizing it, implementing, and also reached by 2008 about 3,500 wholesale mandis with the technology which is available there. And that time, even I, published, wrote an article, paper which was also, accepted uh, on a conference which is organized by Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore.
Sir.
And that paper itself, I have suggested that under the National E-Governance Program, agriculture marketing, AgmarkNet has to be taken as a nodal project. With that, everything market-led, extension will take place. So network 7,500 wholesale mandis and 22,000 rural mandis, 2008.
Way
I
back.
asked about something like about 300 crores, 250 to 300 crores. And national e-governance, they didn't bother about it. And then the Minister of Agriculture at that time, that the agriculture, the trend was that it is a state subject.
Actually,
Whatever
sir,
we have,
I mean, that is a
whatever we have
smart
done,
strategy.
it's fine. AgmarkNet, let them take it up now.
I want to tell you my experience, sir. It was a smart strategy not to
Just
touch
1 minute, just 1 minute.
Sir.
And then then I even prepared and note that how this has to it has to be done at the block the grassroots level. I will send you that document which I prepared. It will help you. And also had a separate chapter on 11th Fire Plan document, Dr. Acharya committee, and on agriculture marketing, where he has he has that asked me to write a chapter on digital technology in agriculture marketing, which is also has been completely accepted as it is. It has gone into the document. So there was a full stop after the 11th Fire Plan document on agriculture marketing. Then it came in the new name of ENAM in 2014. I'm very happy to see that today. I'm very happy to see that as an agriculture, you can see all the articles which I have penned and has been published.
Absolutely.
That it is a farmer centric. It will make visibility and choice. You have put it in your today. Your presentation was it is self-explanatory. You don't need anybody to explain to people who are viewing this video. And you put visibility is more important, and then choice is important.
Yes.
And it is a very important component. See, 22,000 rural mandis and 7,500 wholesale mandis, ENAM and Farmgate. It's a very important thing. And also bringing in all the other components of bringing in technology. And if you now map it with the 7 mission mode recommendation of the digital technology in agriculture in doubling farmers' income, I think, and I can happily retire from this world as a
We will do
satisfied
that.
person. I'm very happy. And the
Well,
reason for having these 2 webinar series is to drive the point. I'm one of the technocrat is alive. I was is the person who was instrumental for 512 districts computerization way back in 87, and the project I headed was District Information System of National Informatics Center, 28 sectoral database development program plus 1 comprehensive village level database development program, presented in all 5 district collectors conference during the period of the late Prime Minister Shri Rajiv Gandhi. And then 95, I know National Conference on Informatics for Sustainable Development is the 95, 15, informatics, IT blueprint on 15 informatics network for agriculture. AgmarkNet is one, AgriSnet is another one. And that time itself, I put up a proposal to the Minister of Agriculture, AgriSnet with the 10,000 terminals. The present Prime Minister, when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, it was the first to try to operationalize Agri's net. He may not even know that who is the man who was behind it. And he, that is Moni, and he is Modi. That's the only difference is only one letter, D and N. Yeah, I would like to see him when the time comes. That, and the thing is that I'm very happy, Mr. Tyagi, that even though your address would have been on 6th January 2022, but due to your preoccupation, you are not able to do that. But today you have done a wonderful presentation talk. You have given a complete value chain. I have been always talking. Even yesterday, there was a meeting with in ICAR. I was invited. That is that's Deputy Director General Education, ICAR, Dr. Agrawal, was taking a meeting, and that how to bring in private, universities who are involved in agricultural education also in the mainstream. I told them that when since I was involved in ICT, operationalization in ICR system way back from 95 onwards, the present DDG, Dr. Agrawal, knows about my contribution. And when I talked about that after my retirement, that in the university, that the Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Government Research Studies and MTech in Agricultural Informatics, he said that this is what is needed now. So agricultural science, which is we have been talking since decades together. But today, what Professor Moni has now talked about is that, yes, we talk about IoT, we talk about blockchain, we talk about individual technology. But to generate a human resources, they have to give an integrated approach. Right. Like agriculture economics and agriculture statistics. Now, Professor Moni has been working for more than a decade based on his vast experience from 87 onwards. Then agricultural informatics as a discipline. And this is the only first university, private university in the country.
Yes.
Engineering university is having agriculture as a use case. IITs are not there, NITs are not there, and central universities are not there. Even agricultural university, IT in agriculture is not a use case. And then, that's how that this is. They said that, Professor Moni, you please forward that MTech in agricultural informatics curriculum, and also the structure and MBA in agribusiness management, because I thought that digital technologies must. I gone through at that time when I was formulating that program on MBA in agribusiness management. I looked into IIMs and looked into various agricultural university MBA in agribusiness management. I thought that they have a label, but we have to generate human resources from the rural India. So this is and yesterday I told them that yes, many people are doing MBA in agribusiness. We generate people for corporates. But this country is not doing anything on MBA in agricultural marketing to generate human resources for 7 agricultural marketing operations. And, this is very important. And, yesterday I was able to convey this, that MBA in agricultural marketing is very important with the new technology. My request is that with today's your presentation, and I'm happy from my bottom of heart that in my life, I'm able to see a complete value chain, starting from 27 markets, with 72 markets with the 27 commodities, getting into 3,500 commodity, wholesale mandis with 400 commodities, and now with that was a price efficiency. Now it is a marketing efficiency. Now is a marketing efficiency.
Yes.
And then it is now that 20 million plus farmers are registered. They're they are working on it. I'm very happy.
Repeat users.
Very satisfied person, and I would like to request you that we would like to work together, your organization and the Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, deemed to university, 5 centers of excellence, how to bring in your experience as a form of MBA, MTech, and PG diploma to generate a lot of human resources to get into sustainable agricultural rural development, to generate even more than $3 trillion, as to be added to the existing GDP. It's very important. I'm very happy. And then it is and I'm very happy. And even the other members of the RDO countries are also will echo the same thing to operationalize what we
I
wanted to do that. Over to you. Yes, Mr. Tyagi.
uh, acknowledgement from you, sir, count as a lot. I mean, your contribution in India's growth story, if you map, it will run into trillion. Not you know how much IT has contributed. It will run into trillion. I mean, massive. I mean, the whatever I heard in last 5 minutes. See, now at least taking some message to the last man standing in the row is possible. Otherwise, when I in my first phase of my career, I I mean, how many farmer meetings manually you can do? It used to take a lot of time, and now the knowledge transfer and adoption and change of habits is comparatively very easy. I just want to add here, sir. It is a pleasure. It is our. I will say we are very lucky. Today is one of the day which I will acknowledge. I know you for long. I mean, but not in person, but your work speaks everywhere. I mean, it's not like this. I'm no one to basically acknowledge it. So I would just say, sir, definitely we will work together. I have already shared with you there is no fitting manpower. There is a gap between all our education institutes and market. I am repeatedly telling my alma mater also, please change for God's sake. This is a great university, Pantnagar. Change, change, change. I said that putting up me in board of management will not help. Putting up my thought in your brains and having a commitment for that will help, sir. Those all are professors, for me they are very, very respected. Whatever we are today because of our teachers only. Otherwise I'm a poor village boy. So what I wanted to tell in ARDO also, I mean, these technologies are not proprietary. I mean, this belongs to government of India, but knowledge is for everyone. So any of our participating or member countries, stakeholders, anything, whatever I have covered, whatever technology is available for them. I mean, we don't see this as a cash cow. I am generating customers for my company 10 years ahead. For current, people are there. I have been the highest level executive in my company group. I left everything 6 years back and started doing, I said, before I close my career, whenever I want to work till my last breath, but I will do something which will help you guys down the line 10 years. You should not feel off placed. So all the members are invited, whatever be help of we could be off, and all the knowledge are available for everyone.
So
Thank you
thank you.
so much.
With that, I thank all the thank you, and on behalf of the Honorable Chancellor and of the university, His Excellency Secretary General Ardo,
Sir.
and on behalf of the faculty members of the university and my behalf, I thank you and
Thank you, sir.
thank the participants of this program from India and abroad. And you have done a wonderful talk today, and we
Wonderful,
will see to that
continue. We
we
will
generate
continue this dialogue, sir. We
we
will continue.
generate human resources at the
Absolutely.
from rural India, for rural India, by rural India, to make agriculture marketing or market-led extension is very
Yes, sir.
important.
Yes,
And
sir.
today topic is market-driven agriculture, need for development of crop-specific strategies at the block level.
Thanks.
So thank you very much. Have a nice day, and
Thank
we
you so much,
close
sir.
the
Thanks.
webinar and leave studio. Thank you.
I take leave, sir.
Thank you.